Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Juventus really want to sign Arsenal player just 6 days after Mikel Arteta called him world class. Italian giants Juventus are seriously thinking of signing Jorginho from Arsenal in the summer. The next transfer window is expected to be a busy one for the Gunners. All eyes will be on incomings, but a number of players could leave the club too. Jorginho is one of them. Arsenal signed Jorginho from Chelsea last year, and he has been a fantastic player for the Gunners. The Italian only signed an 18-month contract at the Emirates when he joined the club. He is into the final few months of his contract now, and that has alerted interested clubs. Calciomercato claimed this week that Juventus are keeping a close eye on Jorginho. Their sporting director, Cristiano Guintoli, knows the midfielder very well, having worked with him at Napoli. The report claims he is really thinking of signing Jorginho this summer and is waiting for the right opportunity to present an offer to the Arsenal man. Juventus think Jorginho's experience is perfect for their side, and he would also play a big part in helping the younger players at the club. Arsenal, however, have an option to extend Jorginho's deal by another year. They can activate that at any point before his current deal expires in July. Jorginho isn't a regular for Arsenal, but he has been really good almost every time he has got the nod. The Italian played a big part in the Gunners' wins over the two title rivals Liverpool and Manchester City this season. He was magnificent in those games. Jorginho started against Newcastle 6 days ago as well, and he was brilliant again. Mikel Arteta went as far as calling him a world-class midfielder after the game. Mikel Arteta says massive Arsenal is available to start at Sheffield United. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has revealed that Gabriel Jesus is fit enough to be starting at present. However, the Gunners' boss stressed that whether the striker lasts the full 90 minutes is something different. Arteta was speaking to the Arsenal media team at Thursday's pre-match presser ahead of Monday night's trip to Sheffield United. Jesus has not played since January 30 due to a knee issue, and he was an unused substitute in Saturday's win over Newcastle United. Arsenal cruised to a 4-1 victory against the Magpies, and Arteta opted not to risk the Brazil international with the point safe. The Gunners' boss was asked whether Jesus was ready to start, and he replied, "Well, he is fit enough, but knowing how long he will last is something different probably. We didn't want to take any risk after the result that we had against Newcastle. Obviously, we need him fit. He is a massive player for us, and we want to make sure that now we load the players in the right way." Arsenal will look to manage Jesus' minutes throughout the run-in to avoid any more flare-ups of his knee issues. According to the Daily Mail, the 26-year-old has suffered with fluid in the knee, an issue which needs attention in between games. However, Arteta insists that the operation Jesus had in the summer did work and that the player shouldn't need another one at the end of the season. As per Charles Watts, the current issue is that he got a knock in another area that caused a different kind of injury, so it wasn't related to the first one. It's good to hear that Jesus is fine to start, but it looks as though he will probably not be completing 90 minutes very often between now and the end of the season. Luckily, Arsenal seem to be coping well enough without Jesus, and with so much at stake this season, the strength and depth is there with regards to getting goals. Mikel Arteta says Arsenal staff have been blown away by 22-year-old player. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has spoken highly of Jurrien Timber as he edges closer to a long-awaited return to action. The Gunners' boss, speaking to the club's media team, says Arsenal's physios and medical staff have been delighted with the player's attitude and efforts. Timber, who joined the Gunners this summer, has been out since August after injuring his knee in the opening weekend of the Premier League season. On Wednesday, the 22-year-old took a big step forward in his road to recovery as he trained with his Arsenal teammates for the first time since his injury. Timber carried out some individual work at London Conley before joining in with his colleagues in team training as they prepare to face Sheffield United away. Although the Dutchman isn't expected to be back just yet, there are hopes that he can play a role in Arsenal's run-in. Arteta couldn't sing Timber's praises highly enough at his pre-match presser ahead of Monday's trip to Sheffield United. On the speed of Timber's recovery, the Arsenal boss said, "It's been a joy, and all the physios and the medical staff are really happy with his attitude and his commitment, especially with the way things have gone. It's not a coincidence the way he applies himself, how determined he is, his willingness to put every effort in everything that he is demanded to do, and he is in a really good place. Now we have to manage him because it's the last stage of that difficult injury that is complicated, but I think he is on the right way." It's great to see Timber being eased back into training and also to hear Arteta say the player has been working really hard on his rehabilitation. It will seem like he is a new signing, and hopefully it won't be long before he is fully fit and back in action as Arsenal embark on an exciting end to the season. Fantastic Arsenal player now fully fit and ready to play versus Sheffield United. Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey is absolutely fully fit and ready to return against Sheffield United on Monday night. This is according to Charles Watts, who shared what Gunners insiders have told him about the 30-year-old midfielder's fitness. Partey has not played for Arsenal for over 4 months now due to a serious thigh problem, which forced him to undergo surgery. He has not turned out for the Gunners since 8 October and has just 5 appearances for Mikel Arteta's side this term. Meanwhile, his last outing for Ghana was on 18 October. Partey was looking to make his return to action at the start of February, but sadly suffered an issue in a very similar area, which has kept him on the sidelines for yet more time. There were hopes that the Arsenal star could have potentially returned against Newcastle United at the weekend, but he wasn't in the squad. On Thursday, Arteta said Partey should be part of the squad on Monday, but what seems even more optimistic, he said, "I'm told now Thomas Partey is absolutely fully fit and he is ready to go. My understanding of the situation is that Arsenal have taken their time and they wanted to make sure he was absolutely right. They wanted to be as confident as they ever could be that when he comes back that he is not going to suffer any sort of a breakdown or setback or anything like that. But as far as I'm aware, he is now feeling very, very strong. He is ready to go and he is fully fit and he is going to be involved against Sheffield United on Monday night." It's been a long road back for Partey, who has endured a really difficult season in terms of his injury and fitness issues. However, it looks as though it's all systems go for Partey's return now. He is a fantastic midfielder, and it will be good to see him back if everything goes according to plan ahead of the Blades game. Arsenal will have to pay £300,000 a week wages to perfect 25-year-old star if they want to sign him. Arsenal are among the clubs interested in signing Victor Osimhen this summer, but the striker will cost a lot of money. The Gunners are almost guaranteed to look for a new striker this summer. They need a prolific goal scorer who will guarantee over 20 goals a season, and Osimhen could be that man for Arsenal next season. Victor Osimhen is one of the best strikers in the world, and he will be a wanted man this summer. The Nigeria international was the biggest reason why Napoli won the Serie A title last season. He has had a relatively quiet campaign this time around, but nobody can deny that he is a phenomenal talent. It looks likely that Osimhen will leave Napoli in the summer, and a number of clubs are keen to sign him. Arsenal have been heavily linked, as are Chelsea, who also need a new striker. Dean Jones has shared the latest on Osimhen in his reports on Give Me Sport, and he has revealed that clubs will have to break the bank to sign him. It has been claimed that Osimhen will command wages in the region of £300,000 a week. That would make him Arsenal's highest paid player if they signed him. The striker will also cost a fortune in transfer fees. His release clause is set at £113 million, which is more than what Arsenal paid for Declan Rice last year. Strikers are, on paper, at least the most valuable players in any squad. Without elite goal scorers, it's almost impossible to win the biggest titles, and that's why any prolific goal scorer will cost a fortune. Osimhen, branded as a perfect player for Arsenal by Mika Richards, is definitely up there with the best strikers in the world, and any club that wants him will have to spend big, not just in transfer fees, but also in wages. Arsenal have shown in recent years that they are more than happy to pay the big bucks on players they really want. If they are keen on Osimhen, we don't think they will have a problem splashing the cash. David Arnstein says £100 million Premier League player is on Arsenal's list of Ivan Toney alternatives. Arsenal will continue to hunt for a new striker this summer after calling their pursuit of Ivan Toney after they failed to get him in January. The Gunners have managed to maintain their superb run of form, and they go into this weekend's game with Sheffield United full of confidence after some huge wins in recent weeks. Goals have not been hard to come by, and that's without Gabriel Jesus in the starting 11 recently as well. However, there is a maintained feeling that to keep going for top trophies, Arsenal do need to sign a striker after missing out on Tony in January. And according to David Ornstein, Premier League striker Ivan Ferguson is one of the players Arsenal will consider making a move for this summer. Answering questions in his latest Q&A for The Athletic, Ornstein named a number of strikers, including Ferguson, as alternative options to Ivan Toney for the Gunners. He said, "A striker is the main focus, and they admire Benjamin Sesko, Victor Gyökeres, Ivan Ferguson, and others. Then there is the long-term desire to bring in competition back up in the wide attacking area. Pedro Neto remains of interest, but he is not the only option, and it's unlikely Arsenal will pay Wolverhampton Wanderers asking price of £80 million. He is a brilliant player, but does not have a great injury record." Brighton are getting into a nice habit of selling players for huge money, and Ivan Ferguson looks like being the next one to bring funds into the club. The Siglus value Ferguson at around £100 million, and while that's a huge figure, he's shown enough to suggest he could well be worth it. Lauded by none other than Alan Shearer as being a special talent, Ferguson has shown at a young age that he has plenty to offer and is currently a huge amount of room for improvement. Arsenal will face competition for Ferguson, as we know. However, if they can convince him that they are the club for him, then it could very much be a game changer for the club. Fabrizio Romano confirms again that Arsenal definitely want to sign £85 million player this summer. Arsenal are definitely considering a deal to sign Victor Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon this summer. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. So what is the latest on Arsenal target Victor Gyökeres? Let's take a look. Well, the Mirror have previously claimed that Arsenal are keen to sign the Sweden international. Now, the reliable Romano has doubled down on the fact Mikel Arteta is considering a move for Gyökeres after being accused of pushing the Sporting Lisbon number 9 in the direction of Chelsea. The Italian journalist wrote on X, literally said 1 month ago that Chelsea are not considering this deal, and Arsenal, yes. It's no surprise to hear that Arteta and Edu are contemplating a move for Gyökeres. The Swede, who Arsenal are actively scouting, has enjoyed a remarkable season in Portugal since joining Sporting in a £20 million deal from Coventry back in July 2023. Gyökeres has scored 31 goals in just 34 appearances while also providing 11 assists, putting him ahead of Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe when it comes to goal involvement. Arsenal will not need to waste time haggling with Sporting over a fee this summer, as Gyökeres has a release clause worth 100 million euros, about 85 million pound, written into his contract. That was even confirmed on Sporting's official website. Arteta will, of course, have to negotiate with Gyökeres himself and convince him to join. Also, that should not be an issue given the fact Arsenal are one of the biggest clubs on the planet. If the Gunners manage to pull this transfer off, it would be a hugely exciting move given the 25-year-old's stunning amount of goal involvements this season. Be sure to keep an eye on the situation, as Gyökeres will surely be one to watch in the summer transfer window. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.